Hey, Detective Alchemist here. So, what we're doing today is we're going to do a walkthrough of the Castle Nathria mystery achievement. And that is so that we can get this Deviate Delight card back. Now, this is the first time not doing it live. So the format will be just slightly different, but we're still off the cuffing everything. So I'm not going by a script or anything. First things first, you will need to make this wild deck in order to get into the mystery puzzle. And this is linked. There's a deck code in the description, as well as a link to the Out of Cards article that I'm using to solve this. So those are both in the description, or you can take a screenshot of this or whatever you need to. And so once you've got that loaded in, it's all core set cards and Castle Nathria cards, and it's like 800 and something dust, so it's not an expensive deck to craft. You're going to want to go into Ranked Wild, and then load up this deck, and then click Play. And it'll act like it's going into a regular game, but then we have a remarkable overlap of everybody and their uncle saying stuff. So, what we have here is all 10 locations and all 10 of the Castle Nathria legendary suspects. And what we're going to do is we're going to shift the suspects around and make sure that the correct suspect is in front of each of the locations that matches them. And to figure out which location matches them, each of these locations have 2 clues on them. The first one we get to see for free. And so there's like wood shavings or a feather, gaudy earring, white flakes, crumbs, and some of them have multiple, so there's a feather again. Now, I should note that this is randomized every single time. So if you do everything identical to the way I do it, it will not solve the puzzle for you. So this mystery achievement is much simpler, much more straightforward. I think a lot of it was supposed to be in the figuring out the deck that we just showed to get into this puzzle. But the rest is just this one step as opposed to like 3 hours to do the others. And it will rely on your skills of deduction. But perhaps by seeing me walk through it, it'll help you on your journey. So, in the article that I link in the description, there is this list. I'm going to go ahead and load on screen. You'll be able to see it, showing the clues from the location. For example, I said a moment ago there was a feather, and the suspect, one of the suspects, will have a pet bird as a match. And so you'll be able to guess that, oh, this suspect matches that location. And because there are 2 location clues per, and then each suspect, I'll drop down the image of the pairs. Each suspect has 4 clues on them, and we get one of those clues for free. So, popping that back up on screen, there's anima residue. By the way, go ahead and take a screenshot or write these down, or follow the article link and go ahead and have it up to help you walk through this, because you're going to need this list in order to solve the puzzle yourself. Excuse me. Okay, so anima residue, cut on hand, candy wrapper. I'm not going to read through all of these. You can see them on screen. Do note, oh yes, one thing that was mentioned in the article, you need to have the game in English at the moment until they patch it. They are apparently working on a fix, but if it is not in English, it doesn't work at the moment, at the time of recording. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop that down, and now we have our suspects. So each turn, we can use Investigate twice. It's a twin spell card, and we have 2 mana. And so we can basically investigate the locations or the minions. I think process of elimination, going ahead and investigating the locations will be better. And then you can accuse one of these characters, one of these suspects, of being in front of the correct location. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and look at, for example, wood shavings. The matching hint on a suspect would be whittling knife. So I'm going to look through the suspects and see if any of these have whittling knife as their first clue. Pelagos does. So does Cecily. Okay. And so does Steward. Okay. And Kel'Thuzad has... Okay, so yeah, we have 3 characters that could be in front of a relic vault. I'm going to go ahead and just throw Pelagos over there. And then next, feather. What matches a feather is a pet bird. Do any of these have a pet? Okay, Arelon. I'm just going to go ahead and throw what matches the first clue with the first clue thus far. And then I'll show you how the rest of it works out. So, gaudy earring has a missing earring. Okay. None of these. No. So there's no missing earring in the first clues. White flakes. Dry skin. I don't think there was a dry skin. So it does take a little bit of time, but it's not nearly as long as those maze puzzle things. Okay, so that was white flakes. Crumbs. Eating a cookie. I don't think anybody said eating a cookie for their first clue either. So no. All right, and then we've got drops of hot sauce. Oh wait, no. Crumbs, feather. Feather we already had. That was pet bird. I don't think there was anybody else. There is somebody else with a pet bird. Okay. Pet bird. So we'll put Draka in front of that pet bird. Or that feather. Oh, is there anybody else with a pet bird? No. Okay. And then next up we've got Lost Reading Glasses, which is a steamy romance novel. I don't believe we have a steamy romance novel. Okay. No. And then next up is white flakes we already had, was dry skin. I don't think there was anybody with dry skin. Perhaps. Whittling knife, muddy boots. Okay. And then finally, small flower petals, which correlates to flower in hair. Which, again, I don't believe there was anybody with flower in hair. Oh, wait. Baroness Vosh. Now, shifting Baroness Vosh will shift the others around, so now I need to confirm that these are indeed in the correct order. I'm actually probably just going to toss him back around where she was. So that should fix everybody. White flakes, crumbs, sharp claws, feather, pet bird. Okay. So now my recommendation would be to use investigate on the locations first. But I'm going to take a little bit of a guess here. So Pelagos has a whittling knife and he's in front of wood shavings. I'm going to go ahead and accuse Pelagos of being in the right location. If he's in the right location, we'll get a little fireworks like pink sparkly animation. If he's not in front of the correct location, we will actually get a faded gray animation. So let's find out. Are we lucky and Pelagos is in the right spot? he is not. Okay, so whittling knife, wood shavings. So we're going to have to do a little bit more work. Now, you can keep track of this information however you want, but I would recommend keeping track of who is correct and incorrect in each location. So I'm just using a little notepad with 1 through 10, and I'm going to put Pelagos next to 1. Pelagos is not correct. So let's go ahead and investigate the relic vault. And the second clue appears with gray hairs. Now, the artwork doesn't matter at all. It's literally just what the clues written on the card are. And then there was another wood shavings, I think. Was there not? Never mind, there was not. Then let's go ahead and just look at one of the feathers. And that is small flower petals. Okay, so we know Pelagos is not in the correct location. That was wood shavings. Wood shavings matches whittling knife. I believe this is a whittling knife. So let's swap Pelagos. Actually, no. Let's keep Pelagos there. So we know this is incorrect. We're going to go ahead and end the turn. And it'll take a little bit of time for the animations to come through. But we'll see a certain number of fireworks, or none, if nobody is correct. We'll find out. So turn 1, end turn. We don't die. We see fireworks, maybe. 1, 2. Okay, 2 suspects are in front of the correct location. That's what we know right now. So, pet bird and feather, small flower petals. I'm going to go ahead and make an accusation against Arelon. Is not correct either. Okay. So Arelon is not in location 2. Keep track of that. Okay. Hopefully we can get this. And by the way, each turn you lose a life, so you have to solve it within 10 turns. Or else Murloc Holmes dies. Okay. But the missed accusations are actually very helpful. We know 2 are correct. So now it could be a second clue that's actually telling which one of these are correct or wrong. But Draka is suspected of being in the correct location. And white flakes, whittling knife. And perhaps Baroness Vash in the correct location. So we know it's not Arelon and Pelagos that are correct. So we're going to go ahead and keep looking at the locations and look for more clues. So let's go ahead and look at one that already has some information. Or actually, so this one also is a feather. Let's look at what else is on here. Takes a second. And wood shavings. Okay. So Pelagos might be here. Yes, whittling knife. Let's go ahead and shift Stuart in front of this one. So Stuart's whittling knife matches the wood shavings here. And that shifted Imp King Rafam and White Flakes is Dry Skin. And Cecily. Vosh is still in the same location. So these 2 were thinking maybe they're right, and they may be the only ones that are right, but we're not sure. Okay. And then let's look at one more location. Skills of deduction. Will we succeed? Gaudy earring. Sure, let's find out what else is there. Alright, that was white flakes. Dry skin. I don't think anybody has dry skin in their first clue, so I might need more information. Alright, so what have we shifted? Draka and Baroness Vash are both in the same locations. We shifted Steward, and these two are still in the incorrect locations we know. Let's find out how many fireworks there are. 1. 2. The animations take a while. 3. Okay. So, I think Draka, Vash, and Stewart are probably correct. Let's confirm Draka is not correct. So we changed something. So Draka is in the 6th location. Okay, Cecily, Rafam, and Stewart all shifted position between last round, or this past round, and the initial round. So one of them is now in the correct location. Let's assume it's Stewart. Draka is not correct. Okay. So, white flakes. Let's see if there's another hint on here. Wait, this is... Yeah, okay. We've done those. Okay. So, white flakes and anima residue. Anima residue relates to a cut on hand. I don't believe anybody has that as their first clue. No. Okay, so that didn't help us immediately. It will. Every little bit of investigation, just like Sherlock Holmes, does lead to a final conclusion deduction. Crumbs. All right. Wax drippings probably relates to carrying a candle. Rafam is carrying a candle. Okay, so I'm going to switch Zymox and Rafam, keeping Steward and Draka in the same position. However, I am going to go ahead and shift Draka and Pelagos as well. Is that correct? Wax drippings. Feather. Wait, whittling knife? No, it's not pet bird. Whittling knife. For some reason, I thought one of these was carvings. Well, we did switch him. Wood shavings. Do we have any other wood shavings? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Yes, but we think Stewart is in the right location. So there is another wood shave. Oh, well, no, not guaranteed. Because there are 4 clues on each character. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. All right, so we swapped Draka and Pelagos. And we swapped Rafam and I believe Zymox. Let's end the turn. 1, 2. Just 2 are correct now. All right. Vash, are you in the correct location? She is. Okay, so we have one positive confirmation. Vosh is in position 10. So we don't have to look up any more clues on her or this location. Okay, so that gives us a lot of information, actually. Now we're down to these 9 locations and 9 minions. And only one of these is in the correct spot. Let's keep looking at the locations. So this one, we could probably deduce something from the fact that it went from 3 to 2, but I don't know that we have to go quite that far in our deduction. All right, so this has wax drippings as well. So we had Rafam here. Now let's switch Rafam and Pelagos. Feather and wood shavings. I think Stewart's probably in the right spot. Could be wrong though. We'll probably confirm that next round. Lost reading glasses. And now the second clue is mud on the ground. Is anybody muddy? Muddy boots. Okay, so let's switch Kael'thas and Zymox. All right. So we know Vosh is correct. And now we think Stewart is correct. Kael'thas might be correct. We won't have to investigate this, but this is the final second clue on a location to look into here in a moment. This is going quite a bit more challenging than on the other server when I did it. Okay, so we're going to end turn and see how many fireworks go off. Three, 4. Okay, so 4 are in correct location. We know Vosh is correct. Let's find out if Stewart is correct. That'll save us a lot of clues. He is not. Okay. What we changed last turn. And we went from 2 to 4 correct. We changed Kel'Thuzad and Zymox. Meaning most likely Kel'Thuzad is correct, and perhaps Zymox as well. Another reason you may want to keep better track is I don't know how much I changed. Did I make another change? If not, we know it is Zymox. Alright, let's unlock the final location clue. White flakes and wood shavings. Wood shavings means whittling knife. So Pelagos or Stewart. Okay. Let's see if Stewart has another clue for us. Graying hair. I don't think that matches any of the white flakes. So graying hair means gray hairs. Are there any locations? Wood shavings, gray hairs. Okay. Let's switch Draka, which we knew was incorrect. Well, yeah, of course we did. I think we might have switched Draka with somebody else earlier, but okay. All right. So wood shavings and gray hair, whittling knife and graying hair, that should be a match. And I believe if these two clues match on a minion, or minion suspect, whatever, that's guaranteed. So Stewart, the wood shavings equals whittling knife, and graying hairs, gray hairs, those match. So Stewart is in location 1. We don't need to confirm that. Stewart. Okay. So we now know Stewart in position 1 and Vosh in position 10. Feather, small flower petals. We know Arelon is not correct for here. Let's switch Draka and Arelon. And this is wax drippings and carrying a candle. Okay, so these are the two we have confirmed, 100%. Everybody else, we now know Arelon is in a candidate location. And we did increase. Kel'Thuzad is almost certainly correct. And Zymox is suspected to be possibly correct, actually. Even though it doesn't match up at all. Alright, let's find out how many fireworks. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. That was a long pause. Okay, 6 of the suspects are in the correct locations. All right, let's get a confirmation here. Kel'Thuzad, we won't have to look up anymore if we confirm that he is indeed in the correct location. So Kel'Thuzad is in position 8. All right, so we have 3 confirmed locations out of the, I believe that was 6 that are correct. So, first up, feather and small flower petals for Draka. I'm going to go ahead and thoroughly investigate her, unless I get flower petals as the second one. Or flower petals equals... Small flower petals, okay. Flower in hair. So if she has flower in hair as her second clue. Cut on hand. Was there an anima residue? White flakes. Okay, let's give her one more clue. Missing earring. There was one with gaudy earring and white flakes. But white flakes is dry skin. So unless it's her fourth clue, no. Now I don't believe we've shifted anybody around yet, have we? There's no double match, right? Anima and feather? No. No anima on hand. And feather. Okay. So we didn't actually gain as much as I wanted from Necrolord Draka's information. Inscription hobby matches ink smudge, which I don't think is a relevant clue on any of the locations. No, it's not. All right. We're actually not going to shift anything. So I believe this is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. All right, we're getting close, actually. Okay. Another character who we could confirm we have a decent suspicion of. Arelon shifting did help. So let's find out if Arelon is now in the correct location. He is. Okay. So that knocks out a few clues for us as well. So that is location 7. Arelon. So we have 4 out of the 6 are confirmed. Okay. Let's go ahead and discover the final clue on Draka. Because nothing matched her guaranteed right now. Dry skin. Okay, Draka is not in the correct location. Feather and not wax drippings. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Feather, small flower petals. She does not have a flower. Gaudy earrings, white flakes. No, she doesn't have an earring. No, she does. Missing earring and dry skin. Okay, so Necrolord Draka goes with white flakes is dry skin. Yep. And Anima Residue is cut on hand. Alright. So I'm going to switch Zymox and Draka. Confirming. White flakes, dry skin, and Anima Residue is a cut on hand. She has both of those. So Necrolord Draka is confirmed to be location 4. And we know that Zymox was not in the correct location, nor was Draka. Okay, so we know position 1, 4, 7, 8, and 10 are correct. And then we know there were 6. Now we know there should be at least 7. So with a 7th location, and we said we have 5 confirmed. 2 others were already in the correct location. Whittling knife. Cecily could well be in the correct location. Rafam could well be in the correct location. We have no clues about Olgra. But there's no guarantee she's in the incorrect location. Let's get another clue about Olgra. Inscription Hobby doesn't match any of the locations, so let's get some information. Whittling knife. White flakes, no, that's wood shavings. Alright. No, that's he's correct. They're correct. White flakes and wood shavings. I'm not actually going to shift anything. We should have 7 correct, I believe. Unless, well, no, we didn't shift, or Zymox was incorrect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 are correct. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't match at all. All right, let's get some more clues first. Or do we want to confirm anybody? So these two are confirmed: Rafam, carrying a candle, and wax drippings. Let's take the risk. Rafam is correct as well. Okay, so Rafam in location 6. Okay, that means less clues we have to look up on Rafam. So we know Stuart, Draka, Rafam, Erlon, and Kel'Thuzad and Vash are all in the right locations. So it's between position 2, 3, 5, and 9. All right. Feather and small flower petals. Inscription. By the way, we probably could gauge a little bit more based on how we shifted things and the fact that there were 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 confirmed locations. And we know one of these non-confirmed locations, position 2, 3, 5, or 9, is correct. Let's look at Olgra a little bit more. So Olgra has a flower in her hair, whittling knife and flower in hair. Small flower petals matches there. Whittling knife. So gaudy earring and white flakes don't match any of these. So Olgra is definitely in the incorrect location because there's no location with inscription hobby matches ink smudge. No location has an ink smudge. Whittling knife, there are several that have wood shavings. Flower and hair, there are several that have small flower petals. But this doesn't have whittling or flower petals. So Olgra is 100% in the incorrect location. Sharp claws. Is there a correct location for her? Position 9. White flakes would be dry skin. Nope. And wood shavings could match. Other position 5. Crumbs and wax drippings is not correct. Crumbs and wax drippings don't match her. Feather and small flower petals. Small flower petals. So she could be position 2 for the flower and hair, but feather doesn't tell us. Or she could be position 9 because of the wood shavings. I'm going to use, to finally confirm Olgra 100%. Pet bird. Feather and small flower petals. Feather, pet bird, flower petals, flower and hair. So I'm going to switch her and Zymox. All right. So Decimator Olgra is confirmed 100% to be in position 2. Olgra. All right. Zymox has sharp claws, but that's only one clue. It doesn't match anything. Position 5, crumbs and wax dripping, whittling knife. That doesn't match at all either. White flakes and wood shavings. Whittling knife. I'm going to bet this is correct. That's probably the extra one that was correct. And then Pelagos and Zymox may be switched. So my guess is that we will have 8, or it may be done. Let's find out. We did not get the achievement complete, so it's probably 8. 1, 2. This takes a while. 3. 6. 7. 8. Good Lord, how long do we have to wait? Okay, 8. So 8 was accurate. Let's go ahead and check Cecily to have her confirmed or not. She is correct. Okay, Cecily is correct. Cecily, how do you spell? I just need Cecily. Okay, Cess. All right, so we have Vosh is correct, Cecily is correct, Kel'Thuzad is correct, Erelon is correct. Excuse me, Rafam is correct. Draka is correct. Olgra is correct, and Stuart and such. Okay, so basically 3 and 5 need to switch positions. Pelagos and Zymox. Okay, Stuart is correct location, Olgra is correct location, Draka is correct location, Rafam is correct location, Erelon is correct. Yep, okay. So, let's just look at clues just in case we have some assumption incorrect. On Pelagos, let's investigate Pelagos a little bit more. Gaudy earrings and white flakes. So we're looking for a missing earring or dry skin. There's a missing earring, and we may or may not get the information about the dry skin. We did, so that is actually confirmed. Dry skin. So this should be investigation complete. Indeed. Now we still have to wait through this animation. Fireworks go for like 10 times. But the mystery has been solved. That took longer. Murloc Holmes had 5 health left when I did it on the other server. But by taking educated guesses and process of elimination, you can figure it all out, and I believe most of the time, unless you get unlucky, as long as you keep track of everything, you can complete it within 10 health. But I suppose we'll find out. That got a lot closer than I expected, but it does get narrower and narrower. Your options get fewer and fewer as you keep going. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at that card back. And so that's how I did it. Process of elimination, I do recommend going after the locations first and making good guesses. One of the most important things besides that is keeping track of how many fireworks at the end of turn. So as you saw, the process, slow process of just counting those fireworks and using that also as information about, how many do I have in the correct location? And yeah, that's it. So here's the end of the video. Good luck in your own deductions. Cheers. Oh. But yes, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Or remember, you're awesome. And enjoy.
Welcome to Revendreth.